Revolutions are inspirations for other countries, colonies, or regions. Revolutions are questionings of constitutions and beliefs that are already believed as right.
American Revolution, French Revolution, Mexican Revolution, and other numerous revolutions. But it seems like not much people know about the Haitian Revolution or its crucial impacts to the world. There are numerous consequences and impacts created through the Haitian Revolution, and we would like to explore these consequences and impacts of the Haitian Revolution.
The most crucial impact of the Haitian Revolution is the questioning of slavery throughout the world. The Haitian Revolution served as a catalyst for other slave revolts and revolutions. As soon as the words of the revolution and blacks gaining freedom and independence from whites hit other regions such as the Hispanic and America, black slaves started to question their positions.
This is what Professor Kong thinks about the questioning of slavery. If the Haitians can gain freedom from such a dominant country, France and Napoleon, why can't we? And if they get freedom and rights, why shouldn't we get freedom and rights like them? Let's fight for our rights and freedom like the Haitians.
This soon set the basic course for slave revolts and rebellions in America and other regions throughout the world. Haitian Revolution tried to set the racial equality and abolitionism in different countries. Not only that, Dessalines, whom we will discuss later, united the dark, mixed, brown, and various skin colors under the name of blacks.
As the power shifted France to Haitian government after the Haitian Revolution, France had to suffer. Napoleon, who just became the Emperor of France, had to stop the revolution since Saint Dominic, the name of the colony before gaining independence as Haitian, was one of the major sources of economy for Napoleon and France. Napoleon started to send troops to Saint Dominic in order to take down the rebellion. However, the black slaves' passion for freedom and independence was not easy to take down, even for the grand troops of Napoleon. In addition, yellow fever, a deadly contagious disease, hit the Napoleon army, as most of them died. Napoleon had to retreat after losing most of his army. However, that was not the end. He tried to defend his land of Louisiana from foreign forces, but because of his loss of army due to the Haitian Revolution, he could not get enough money to raise another army for Louisiana. As a result, he sold the land of Louisiana to America for almost nothing. Although he gained money from his sale of Louisiana, this was another big step for the America into the expanding westward.
Haitian Revolution had another crucial impact on the economy globally and internally. Haiti was the most important French colony in the Caribbean, but due to the revolution, France reduced and stopped trading with Haiti. This brought the economy of Haiti down, and soon the economy of Haiti was unstable. But we want to focus more on the global level. This partially goes back to the questioning of slavery. Back when the Haitian Revolution happened, the major source of economy was more of agriculture than manufacturing. Agriculture produced not only food, but also tobacco, cotton, coffee, and other valuable goods. But the important fact is that most of the labor and workers were black slaves. And the Haitian Revolution made them revolt against slavery and fight for their freedom and rights, as said previously, which means most of the labor and workers will be gone. This is crucial because then many countries with slavery, prominently America, had much less source of labor. With less labor, it is obvious that the production of agricultural goods decreased sharply and crucially damaged the economy of many nations where agricultural goods are their main source of economy.
Just like the usual patterns of revolution and the French Revolution, we can clearly view the age of Thermidor in the Haitian Revolution. For France, it was Napoleon who took over the military powers and became the Emperor of France. But for the Haitian Revolution, it was the Dessalines who took control and named himself the Emperor of Haiti. Dessalines, a former black slave, hated whites. Thus, he killed whites in the land of Haiti and aroused the fear of blacks and slaves in the minds of whites in other various regions. An important thing that Dessalines did was that he created the Constitution of 1804 under his ruling. A major and crucial right in the Constitution was the freedom of religion. France, a nation of Catholics, stressed Catholicism in Saint Dominic. But due to the new constitution created, all Haitians had freedom of religion, which denounced the power of the church to an extent. In addition, another major factor about the Christian constitution is that it united most races, except whites, under the name of blacks. This unification of races strengthened the power of blacks among various regions.
I would like to talk briefly about decolonization. Decolonization is when the government set up by another country is overturned, basically meaning uncolonizing. Haitian Revolution sparked decolonization in other areas in the Caribbean. Just like how American Revolution inspired the French Revolution, the Haitian Revolution also inspired revolutions in French colonies and in the Caribbean. Surprisingly, the Haitian Revolution also inspired the French Revolution in many ways, as it happened before the French Revolution. The blacks' revolt for their equality and rights against the monarchy of France motivated the people of France to fight against the monarchy for their own rights. A French colony in the Caribbean with slaves fighting for their rights and freedom. Although just a rebellion of slaves, the Haitian Revolution impacted the world crucially in many areas like the questioning of slavery, reign of Napoleon, economy, decolonization, and the age of Thermidor.
The Haitian Revolution, just like the American and the French Revolution, was a crucial step towards the equality of mankind and a better society. The reason why you can believe in any religion, whether it is Christianity, Buddhism, or Islam, and have no possibility of being a slave, lies under the consequences of the Haitian Revolution. Yay! The Haitian Revolution has given us these gifts as their consequences. Hooray! James, I'm feeling very, very happy. Let's go party!
Yeah, man.